What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with camera tips and tricks for the TCL Stylus 5G. So stay tuned if you want to get the most of all the various cameras on your device. Now I want to start off here and show you a quick feature that I know for sure you're going to like, and that is that if you double press on the power button, it will immediately pull up the camera app. So we'll give that a try. And just like that, it pulls up the camera app right away. And you can do this from anywhere throughout the operating system. You can also do it from the lock screen as well, and with the phone's display off. So we'll give this a try. And there we go, it pulls up the camera right away. Now this device has a variety of different cameras on it. The front-facing camera is 13 megapixels, and then on the back of the device, we have a quad camera setup with a 50 megapixel main camera, a 5 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera for portrait mode, and a 2 megapixel macro camera for close-up images. So this phone does support portrait mode for both the rear and front cameras, which is really awesome. Now heading over to the camera app on the device, this is with the main camera right here. Then from there, you go to this button to switch over to the ultra wide angle camera. And as you can see, you can fit a lot more content into the frame by using this camera. Then from there, you can go over to this menu to access the macro camera. So go here to super macro. And then with that, you can get very close up. Then, exiting out of there, you can head over to portrait mode right here. So you get those nice blurred out backgrounds. There's also an option right here to choose different levels of blur, which is pretty nice. They give you the ability to make that adjustment. And then you can flip around to the front-facing camera and take portrait selfies. Of course, with this device, you can also take regular selfies too. Now, there's definitely a lot here in this camera interface, but up top here, you can see that we have the settings on the left side here. We also have the ability to select the aspect ratio of the image. So when you go there, you can see we have 4:3, 16:9, 1:1, which is square. And we can also do the full size of the display here. So several different options. You can also adjust HDR. So you can have HDR off, have it on auto, or have it be there all the time. Then moving on, there's a timer right here. So you can have 2 seconds, 5 seconds, or 8 seconds for taking a timer when you're taking photos, or taking a video for that matter. Then up here, we have a toggle for the flash. So you can have it off, on at all times, or have it on auto. And then finally, we have some filters right here. So a variety of different filters that you can select to kind of change things up for your images. So certainly pretty cool that we have all those various options. But in addition to that, there's a hidden menu right here. So if you go to this little line, that pulls up a bunch of different options. So some of them are the ones I already showed you, but you can see there's also AI scene detection, steady snap, guidelines, touch to capture, and the gradienter. So let's give guidelines a try. And essentially it adds grid lines here, giving us the ability to use the rule of thirds, which is pretty awesome. If this is a feature that you tend to use pretty often, then I could definitely see it being helpful. You can also use it as well for video, so that's awesome. And then heading back here, there is also touch to capture. So essentially if you touch anywhere in the frame here, it'll capture the image, which is pretty helpful. And then finally, the gradienter. So we'll go there. And essentially what this does is that it's a level, so it'll give you an idea of how level the camera is so that you're not taking photos sideways. Now then from here, let's head over to the settings and see what all there is. So going to that gear icon does indeed pull up the settings. The first thing is that you have the ability to choose a photo size. So by default, it actually takes photos at 12 megapixels. And the reason for that is because if you always take photos in the full 50 megapixels, it's going to take up a lot of space in your phone quite a bit faster compared to a lower megapixel count. But if you want to take a full 50 megapixel photo, which is called high pixel, you can select that and then do that. So it certainly does work well. We'll take a look at that photo. So very clear. That's for sure. You can also go here and adjust video quality. So by default, it is 1080p at 30 frames per second, and that is the best video quality that this phone can produce. But if you want to do 720p or even 480p to save storage on your device, you do have the ability to switch over to that. There's also some intelligent features here too. Then moving further down here, we have volume button function. So right now, by default, the volume button acts as the shutter button. So essentially, if you're here in the camera mode and you do either volume up or volume down, it does take a photo or capture a video, so that's pretty convenient. but it is cool that you can further customize that. So if you want to, you can have the volume buttons just do the volume like they normally do, or we can also have them function as zoom buttons. So let's try that. Now we'll go back, and then now volume up zooms in, and then volume down zooms out. This one's pretty cool. It's called gesture to capture. So use the palm gesture to take a photo or video. So let's give that a try. And it's about to take the photo. There we go, just took it. Let's try that one more time. And there we go, it captured the photo once again. Now heading back to the settings here, I want to show you this as well. It's called shutter sound. So by default, if you capture an image or take a video, the phone will make a noise. So the shutter button does indeed make a shutter sound, but if you want to, you can disable that. And then now, when we go to the camera app, taking a photo doesn't make any noise at all. And then heading back over to the main interface here, again, you can go to this menu to access some different photo modes. So we have portrait, pro mode. So with pro mode, you have the ability to pick and choose all these various settings. So if you're familiar with those, then there you go. Make the best use out of that. And then you can also go to pano to take a panoramic image. There we go. That was, of course, very quick, but as you can see, it kind of worked. It'll definitely work if you take your time, that's for sure. And then we'll head back to this menu. You can see that we have stop motion, slow motion, light trace, and then I showed you super macro already, and then high pixel does take the full 50 megapixel photos. So that is pretty nice as well. Now, if there's any of those from here that you actually want to have in this bottom menu, you can go to this pen icon right here, and then pick up any of these and then now drop them down in the quick panel. So as you can see, you can only have 2 of them in the quick panel at a time. So we'll take portrait mode out now, and then we'll put high pixel in there. And then now I'll go to done, and you'll see that we have both of those options down below here instead of what was there before. But this concludes camera tips and tricks for the TCL Stylus 5G. I hope you found this to be helpful and you learned something new today so you can make the most of the various cameras on your device. And if that's the case, then definitely give this video a thumbs up and check out all my other videos on the channel about this phone and other budget smartphones. But thanks again for watching, everybody. This is Kevin, and I'll see you in the next one.